Roads and wild animals are not usually a particularly great combination. Unfortunately for most animals, cars just seem to be especially efficient at squashing living things into the asphalt rather than giving them an opportunity for an incredible encounter. But every once in a while, the tables are turned, and wild animals get the upper hand in that relationship. Fortunately for us, there are people around to film it and put it on the internet. From a heart-stopping run-in with a tiger to a grumpy ram staging a protest, here are 5 most incredible encounters with wild animals on the road. Number 5. Massive alligator crosses through middle of Florida intersection. Out for a casual afternoon stroll, this enormous alligator stopped traffic on a busy intersection in Sefner, Florida. Alligators can pretty much wander where they choose. There aren't really many people who are going to pick a fight with one of them, or even any extra eager cops who'll write them up a ticket for jaywalking. So this gator isn't the least bit interested in using the crosswalk, or even the fact that there's a whole lot of traffic trundling along the intersection. It just keeps going on in its own direction at its own pace, causing a whole lot of kerfuffle along the way. It did give a woman out with her dog the heebie-jeebies when the huge lumbering reptile seemingly changed course and began heading in their direction, setting the dog off barking as well.
Look at this!
Perhaps all of that woofing was just too much for the alligator though, because it seemed to change its mind and then head off in search for a more quiet location. Number 4. About 1 million road traffic accidents in the United States are caused by deer every year, which is kind of insane. Who's letting these animals drive anyways, am I right? Captured on a dash cam, this crazy footage shows the terrifying moment when a whole herd of deer come hurtling out of the forest and into the path of oncoming traffic. Shot in Poland, these deer almost cause a pileup when they fail to look both ways before crossing the street. But unlike some incidents, it seems as though these guys have some pretty nifty evasive maneuvers in their skill set. Just look, there are a couple of deer that hurtle over the BMW in front without even breaking their stride. One of the herd, however, has a less elegant landing and winds up sat on top of the BMW, a bit surprised by the whole event. He quickly thinks better of this road crossing business and then hot-foots it back to the safety of the forest. Looking to all intents and purposes like a group of free runners, these deer are actually very fortunate to get away with all of their numbers intact. Thousands of deer are killed on the roads annually, and collisions with deer cause 200 human deaths in the United States each year. It's basically the same all the world over. These guys just keep on leaping in front of vehicles. They could really do with a crossing guard. Number 3. A cheetah jumps into a tourist's car during a safari. In a genuine squeaky bum moment, this safari tourist got a little bit closer to the wildlife than was promised in the holiday brochures. While spending spring break in Africa on safari, photographer Peter Heiston captured some extraordinary images when the tour group he was leading had a close encounter with some cheetahs in Tanzania's Serengeti. The tour had stopped for lunch near to a group of cheetahs, and as they were watching the animals, they realized that some of them were becoming rather interested in the vehicles, moving together directly towards the tourists. One of the cheetahs then actually jumped onto the hood of a vehicle, which the guides assured the group was pretty common, and as the big cats are looking for higher ground, they also survey the area around them. And what happened next was pretty unusual. Another cheetah then suddenly leaps through a window and into the back of the car. With his heart no doubt in his mouth, tourist Britton Hayes managed to stay still and keep calm while he had his picture taken with a very close-up cheetah. Those were definitely some exciting holiday snaps to take home and show his mother. Number 2. Bison fight halts traffic on Yellowstone Road. Bison Well, they are absolutely massive. These gigantic beasts can weigh a whopping 2,000 pounds, so if a couple of big fat male bison begin kicking it off in front of you, it can be quite a sight. Yellowstone Park in the United States is home to about 5,000 of these bison, and spotting a herd of these big animals lumbering across the landscape's not really that unusual. However, seeing a fight break out between two rival males on the road right in front of your vehicle, that's a little bit less common. These gargantuan creatures wallop each other with such force that one of them is literally lifted off the road and thrown to the ground on the opposite side. As bison are able to run at speeds of about 30 miles an hour, these hulking creatures get especially grouchy during mating season, and it's not really recommended that you get too close. Even being in a vehicle at this distance would likely do little good to protect you from the full force and hefty weight of a bison if it landed on your car. That's going to be a big crunch, and it's going to sting a little bit. Number 1. Riders encounter with angry ram. Looks like war's been declared between the dirt bikers and this one particularly angry ram in Nelson, New Zealand. The furious ram has had quite enough of these rude bikers intruding on his territory and polluting his peaceful forest with all that noise. And he's staging a one-sheep protest. He's getting quite the reputation for his efforts as well. Footage shows a biker traveling along a forest path when the ram hears him approach and then decides that enough is enough, because he steps right into the middle of the track, barring the way. For a few moments, it's a classic standoff. The two opponents eye each other, waiting to see who'll make the first move, ready to outgun the other one. The ram takes his first charge toward the bike, knocking the rider down and leaving the offending vehicle on the ground. That's 1-0 for the ram. It then becomes a sort of wrestling match. The biker seems to be trying to push the angry sheep back into the forest so he can carry on his ride, and the sheep is having none of it, and the battle just rages on. Eventually a stalemate is reached and we await the next one. It seems as though the dirt bikers have now attached a camera to the ram, so the footage has got even weirder as we now get a sheep's eye view of the fight. Which side are you rooting for in this one? See you later, alligator. That was an adrenaline-fueled experience. Have you ever had a close encounter with a wild animal, and was it too close for comfort? Let me know all about it in the comments below. Be sure to check out the other cool stuff showing up on the screen, and I'll see you next time.